Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Gran Turismo 7, where we're going to be jumping in for a daily race A today at the Red Bull Ring. So a pretty nice circuit. This is of course going to be a one-make race in the Subaru Impreza STI. It is a four-wheel drive car. Now moving on to this first race here, we get an incredible launch off the start here. So this lobby was quite a bit higher than I'm used to. This was a A+ rated driver in front of me. There was also a A+ rated driver behind me. And then most of the top 10 were A rated. So this is going to be a difficult one. But I did seem to have a lot of pace around here, as you're going to see in the later part of the video. But for now, we're going to focus on race 1, right up behind Rivs Racing. We go a little bit deep there, running onto the runoff at the second corner there. So, not the best start. We are going to pick up a 0.5 second penalty. Of course, Red Bull Ring, very well known for its penalty giving outs. So we're going to try and minimise penalties, and we should do pretty well, as we just run a bit wide there on turn 3. We're going to lose even more time and a position to the Italian up ahead. So coming into turn number 4, we're just going to get bundled a little bit wide from the German here. That's going to unsettle the car. We're trying to get it turned in, but it's not turning. Now there is no way for us to safely rejoin the track, so we're going to cause a little bit of carnage up in to this technical section here, as everybody's battling for position. We're going to come over and serve our 0.5 second penalty. I probably should have stayed off the track a little bit longer there. Let them all go, and then we could focus on climbing back up the table. So coming into the final corner here, we're in 10th place. We started in 2nd. So it's not been the best first lap here, as we get a run on the German. So we're going to go up one position over the start finish line. But yeah, as I said, we had a lot of pace here. We did do quite a bit of practice, and we set a decent qualifying lap. We have done quite a few races before this one, but this is a really good battle, especially within the strength of lobby that we're in right now. So I thought I'd upload this one and show you that I can mix it with the big boys when I need to. Of course, I haven't showered myself in glory up to this point, but we're not doing too bad here. We're in 7th place. We just need to make up another 5, and then we would be back where we started. However, we are going to miss our brake marker again and go wide into turn 3. Luckily keeping it out of the gravel this time, but we are going to lose that position to Townsend. We're going to defend into the technical section of Red Bull Ring. So as we go through the first left-hander, we successfully defended from the Frenchman behind. He does give us a little bit of a pump, which does send us a little bit wide, and unfortunately we are going to pick up a 0.5 second penalty. However, we're not going to take it now, unlike Townsend, who is going to take his 2 second penalty. So we're going to gain that position, but we can now focus, build up enough of a gap to the Frenchman behind, so that when we do take our penalty, we're not going to lose further positions. Coming round the last corner here, you can see that the Frenchman is right on our bumper. We have 3 second gap to the Germans up ahead. That came down massively as we came to take our penalty, but we did luckily build up that gap to the Frenchman. So now we can just focus on trying to not get any more penalties, and of course catching up with P6, who has actually changed now. I think Almasi took a penalty. The Dutchman there up now in 6th position. So we've got a gap, or we got a group now of 3 cars ahead of us. We do have 2 laps to try and do as best as we can. So let's follow on board now on lap 4. You see we're just in the slipstream of the Dutchman up ahead. Coming into turn number 2. I'm going to brake just after the 150 board. Get it turned in, stay in 3rd gear, power on the exit. I hope that's not going to be a penalty. I'm really hoping and praying that that is not going to be a penalty, but it is going to be a penalty. Thank you very much, Gran Turismo 7. So we have another penalty to serve, which we will serve on this lap. And as you can see, we are right behind the Dutchman in 6th place. 5th place has also a penalty, 0.5 second penalty. We get the run on the Dutchman as he just makes a mistake coming out of turn number 3. But we're not going to make the move as we were not far enough ahead. Or far enough alongside, should I say. So coming in to the 2nd left hand here. Dutchman going to get wide again and we're going to follow him off. Give him a bit of a helping hand through that corner. So he's going to gain that position. Although he did pick up a penalty. We are also going to gain a position as the German got all kinds of twisted when he was serving his penalty. And however, we are going to run a little bit deep there on the penultimate corner, and that is of course going to give us another half-second penalty. So I think we've had about what, 4 or 5, so that's 2.5 seconds. If I hadn't have got any of those penalties, I probably would have been ahead of the German in 4th place. So it really goes to show that if you can avoid penalties, avoid the drama, you can really make up a lot of time in these kind of races. He's indicating to go right, so we're going to go up the left. Trying to brake as late as possible. We managed to get the move done. Just about get it stopped so that we don't pick up another penalty. However, the Dutchman is going to be alongside us here as we have a little drag race down into turn 3. We do have the German who's also got our slipstream, so he's going to get past as well. So we're up now into 5th position. Let's see if we can hold it now as we are on the last lap. We're going to defend into these 2 left-handers. We do of course have that penalty to serve, so we're probably going to lose at least 1 position, possibly 2, coming into the final sector. We nail the exit of the 2 left-handers. Coming through now to serve our penalty. The Dutchman behind also had a penalty, so we're going to keep our 6th position. The German there running wide, so he's going to definitely pick up a penalty. But it's not going to matter, we're going to get him on the line anyway, and we're going to come home in a P5. So not a bad result, of course, going all the way down to last place and recovering all the way up to 5th again. So after the A+ rated drivers all got bored and left the lobbies, we had a good run of about 10 races where we just started in pole position and came home to claim the victory. This one in particular with a 11.5 second gap to P2, still with a couple of A rated drivers in there, but it was getting a bit boring. So for this second race, you can see we're going to pull over to the side, starting in pole position, getting all the way onto the grass so that we don't get in the way of other drivers. So coming all the way down into P12, coming round turn 1, we're actually going to get a really good launch here. We're going to go through the middle of the lot of them. We're going to go up into P7. So that one corner alone, we gained 5 positions there. So coming up into turn number 2, so we're going to get a little bit chaotic as there's a lot of contacts. We're going to keep it nice and clean, get the good run on the exit. We're going to make it 4 wide as we shoot through the gap in the middle once again. We're going to have a bit of a drag race here with the German. Coming into turn number 3. try and brake later than him, which we do. We get the job done. We're just going to swerve out in front of him, and that's going to be us up into P4. So we have a German, a Austrian and a Swiss driver up in front. We'll try and make a move on the German as soon as possible, coming through these technical left-handers. Not always the best opportunity to make a move. However, the German's going to go a little bit deep there. We're going to get the run. Coming into the penultimate corner, we're going to be on the inside. Coming into the penultimate corner, then on the first lap, we're going to get the move done as we brake a little bit later. He's trying to make it work around the outside. That's never going to work into the final corner. So we get the drive, as the German doesn't seem to have a handle on his gears ratio, or when you should shift the gears. Of course, you do have to massively undershift this Subaru. Coming into turn 1 now, trying to keep it clean, get the good run on the exit, which we have done. You see that Delta just coming down all the while to the Austrian up ahead. On his home circuit, of course. We're trying to cause an upset here. Into turn number 2 now. Braking just after the 150 meter board. A little bit of a twitch from the Austrian. That's going to delay us getting on the power as early as we would like. So we're going to just stick in his slipstream all the way down this long straight. Coming into turn number 3. Trying to pressure into a move. We close up massively on the brakes there. Take a wider line in so that we get a better exit. You can see now right up behind him. Gap coming down to 2 tenths per second. He goes very wide. We try and squeeze up the inside, but there's not enough room, so we back out. At this point, we're not trying to go for the move, we're just trying to force a mistake, which has kind of happened as he goes a little bit deep there on the exit. Now this was a little bit strange. So he went back over to the racing line, and then he did a double braking or a double defending maneuver. But we're going to force the mistake as he's watching his rearview mirror. Going to go wide into the penultimate corner. We're going to get the switchback completed, setting the fastest lap of the race, a 1:47.2. Not bad considering I had to do a lot of fighting. We almost get taken out there by the Austrian, which means we had to compromise our line as we did not want a Subaru in the back of us. Setting another fastest lap, a 1:46.3, as we are right now on the back of the Swiss driver. So this is going to be the beginning of the end of my race. As you can see, we have the run on the Swiss driver. He doesn't have a handle on his gears either. So we're gaining all the way along straight, and now you let me know on this one. As he just decides to turn in and turn in, keep turning in 3 times. Going to give us an extra bump on the exit just for good measure. However, we do get the better run as we were able to take more speed over the exit. Coming now into turn number 3, I'm expecting it, and here it comes. Yep, there we go. Punting us straight off into the gravel. And away he goes. He did get a 4-second penalty. As we come back onto the racing line, not the cleanest of entries for me. But we've lost 2 positions. We did lose about 10 seconds because of that punt. Or because of both of those punts actually. So he's taken us out twice in this race. As we fire it up the inside of the Polish. So at this point I was driving very angrily. I was not too happy with P1. As you see, he serves his penalty. We're going to get bundled wide anyway by the Polish driver. And because there's more contact, we're not going to get a penalty, but the Polish driver is going to get a 0.5 second penalty. So that wasn't really necessary. We we keep the position anyway. Now we have to focus on the German once again, as we cut that corner a little bit too much. That's going to give us another penalty of 0.5. So now the aim of the game is to try and catch up with P1. We don't want him to win by taking us out, as the German there goes very, very deep. We're going to get a little bit of a slide on the exit, and that's going to cause contact. But we're both going to carry on. We didn't lose too much time. We have a 2-second gap to the guy in front, but because of that penalty we weren't able to bring it down, and we're going to finish in P2 with a 1-second penalty. But we managed to keep hold of P2, and I was absolutely furious after this race. It's not a bad result though, going from first to 12th and then back up to second. So we're going to go in for another race here. This time we're not going to give him the position. We're going to start from pole, although we do over rev the car quite a bit. That gives him the run going into turn 1. So he's going to be in first position to start this race, coming down the second long straight. Now you may have noticed the Italian there coming into the back of us on the first corner. Gonna also squeeze us out wide, but we're going to use all of the runoff here to gain the extra speed. So we're going to keep the position from the Italian. We've also got a run on the Swiss driver, who's going to go defensive. We're going to go around the outside, but it's not going to matter. Keep your eye on the rear view mirror as the Italian comes in for a third time, and unfortunately is going to murder the Swiss driver. So as long as we can keep it safe, keep it away from the Italian through these two left-handers and the S-bend coming up the hill, we should be able to run away with this one and come home for a well-deserved victory. As the Italian behind is going to serve his penalty. That's going to put the Swiss driver right behind us again. However, keep your eye on the rear view mirror as he overruns it a slight bit, and I'm not really sure how, but he got oversteer in this four-wheel drive and ends up in the pits. So it's definitely not a pit race, this one. And we're going to come home for a well-deserved first place. We also got a penalty on the last lap. Of course we did, because it's Red Bull Ring. Everybody gets penalties on Red Bull Ring. So yeah, he finished in P9. We finished in P1. So I'm well happy with that. That is a brilliant result. But that is going to do it for this video. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the dirty moves made by the Swiss driver. Don't forget to like the video if you are enjoying the content, and subscribe so that you never miss a video. But that's going to do it for me. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.